Family's blast decision not to punish higher-ranking officers in Niger ambush. Of the Special Operations soldiers killed in a 2017 ambush in Niger Wednesday, a 289-page report by Army officers, and learning that no further disciplinary action was required beyond the letters of reprimand. I.M. Arnold Wright, Green Beret Staff Sergeant. Dustin Wright, 4 American soldiers, Johnson, Wright, and Staff Sergeant. Brian Black and I. On Wednesday, 4 soldiers received redacted copies of the original investigation into the ambush that was completed a year ago. A 6-page, the decision in the Green Berets Colonel Brad Moses and a spokesman for U.S. Army Special Operations Command said Wednesday that neither Moses or Painter would comment on the report. ABC News, Wright said he was told at the briefing that his son Dustin Wright for the Medal of Honor, the nation's highest award for valor, but that it was. The families were also told by Acting Secretary of Defense Patrick Shanahan that no further disciplinary action was required beyond the letters of reprimand for 7 Green Berets and Air Force Major General. Shanahan's decision came after a new which he had ordered additional disciplinary steps. They. Kawanda Johnson, L.A. David Johnson's aunt, told ABC News that she and his widow Maya Shia Johnson got up in about 20 minutes with Army officials, with the 4 families at Fort Bragg on Wednesday. They. Gannon and her husband Ray, Jeremiah Johnson's stepfather, at Fort Bragg and visited Charlie Mike's, a Fayetteville, North Carolina tavern at every Special Operations soldier killed in action since the September 11, 2001 attacks. Families awarding of Medals of Valor to 9 of the 10 members of the Special Forces team that was ambushed almost 2 years ago, including posthumous awards to the 4 soldiers killed in the attack. Military official, on October 4, 2017, 2 Army Special Operations enablers and an intelligence contractor accompanying a platoon of Nigerian soldiers was ambushed by a large group of about 120 ISIS-affiliated fighters as they left the village of Tongo Tongo, close to the border with Mali. How the team ended up in Tongo Tongo in the first place, and was left so vulnerable to attack by the ISIS fighters, of U.S. Africa Command's investigation. A copy of the redacted investigative report, obtained by ABC News, stated that unbeknownst to senior commanders, junior officers had assigned the team a mission to capture a senior ISIS leader in the town of Tillo or If. The report acknowledged that which conflicted with that claim. The families of the report found that the captain in charge of OTA 3212 and some of his Green Berets expressed skepticism prior to launching the reconnaissance mission about the new order, noting that the intelligence was thin and that the ISIS subcommander might no longer be near the Mali border, in a village called Tillo. When no sign of the ISIS target was found after the team drove to Tillo, the team carried out a key. After the team left Tillo, and neared their base in Willam, Painter, a commander in Chad, ordered them to participate in a second kill or capture mission, targeting the same ISIS leader, Down Shefu. This mission was their new mission, a second Special Operations team that was to actually carry out the kill or capture raid. But bad weather Painter ordered OTA 3212 to search an abandoned ISIS campsite for intelligence, according to a dozen sources with direct knowledge. Once again, but the military report given to the families on Wednesday disclosed none of that, downplayed the captain's objections to carrying out the mission, stating his preference. Military officials have told ABC News that the captain loudly shouted into a phone that searching the campsite without backup, a reliable partner force and good intelligence was a terrible plan. But the team leader was ordered to continue with the mission. Ultimately, that mission did not find the ISIS leader at a recently used campsite, and the team headed to Tongo Tongo to get water for the Nigerian forces. The U.S. Painter, the officer who allegedly ordered the team to move to the campsite, as well as Moses, the commander of the 3rd Special Forces Group, who was briefed on that order, for placing the team near ISIS fighters. Republic. Ruben Gallego, 1. Dave. We. Family members confirmed that Dustin Wright and L.A. David Johnson would posthumously receive the Silver Star, Jeremiah Johnson and Brian Black will receive the Bronze Star with V device for valor. Silver Stars will
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.